hating autism. Some parents say they hate autism. They, of course, they love their kids, but they hate the autism that they have. And for some communities, that's like a terrible thing to say, because they think that when you say you hate autism, you also hate the child. So that's believe it or not, it's even some autistic adults who think that way. They think that if you say you hate autism, that you must hate the child. So they don't like it when parents say that. So I'm here to give my thoughts about that. I actually understand both sides of the argument. Like parents who say, I love my child, I just hate the fact that they have autism. And I totally understand that. But my point of view on the matter is, um, you can hate what you want. You can hate autism if you want. I hate it sometimes, but I think that we should pay more attention to accepting autism. And there are reasons why we have to accept that our child has autism. Some very good reasons. So, my background is Christian. So, first of all, I'm already coming from a place of I'm grateful for whatever I have. Um, so, the fact that I wake up alive, I'm grateful. The fact that I'm able to conceive a child, I'm grateful. The fact that my child is alive, I'm grateful. So, I'm coming from that premise. Um, but I also understand parents who have very challenging situations, and especially parents that did not get help early on. Because with autism, early intervention is really key. Like the earlier you start, the better. But if you didn't get that help and your child is now 10, 12, a teenager, and they're very destructive, when they get upset, they're breaking things, then I totally understand why a parent would hate the fact that their child has autism, and sometimes even feel hatred for the child. Let's be honest. um and that's understandable. I'm not here to judge anyone, but I'm here to say that I think it serves us best if we put a lot of effort into accepting a child with autism. And this is the reason why. Let's say there's two buckets, right? There's This bucket is filled with all the things I hate about my child with autism. He throws tantrums, he has meltdowns, sometimes I can't take him places because of how he will react to the place. He breaks things when he's upset, he hits his siblings, he hits the parents, he's making life difficult for everyone in the family. There are people in that kind of situation, right? So this bucket is filled with everything I hate about autism, and this bucket is filled with the things I love about my child, me accepting my child's autism, which is maybe things like he's smart in certain subjects, um, he's kind, he's very forgiving because he doesn't know how to hold a grudge, he's very loving, things like that. Or he has photographic memories. Because believe it or not, every child has some kind of strength. Um, it doesn't even matter how functioning your child is or not. They have something that they're very good at, right? So this bucket has every reason why I love my child, and this bucket has every reason why I hate um, this condition that my child has. Right? For me, the way I see it is, it's okay to hate that he has this condition, but I feel like you should put more of your energy, say 80 to 90% of your energy into this bucket here, the one that is accepting your child for who they are. Because I feel like anything you put your energy into grows, magnifies, right? So if you're putting 90% of your energy into the fact that you hate autism in your child, I feel like that will just make it all the more difficult to deal with that child. And again, you really don't want to deal with your child from a place of hate, because they can sense it, right? So there's a difference when you're dealing with someone and you're dealing with them from a place of, I hate this thing that you have and I hate what you've made my life become. Even though I love you, but I really, really hate this. There's a difference between that and I accept you for who you are, and I know you need help in certain areas, and I'm going to be here to help you. There's a difference between, even if you don't see the difference, your child will be able to tell the difference in the energy between the two of these things. So I think that it's a lot better to come from a place of acceptance and a place of love. And I don't want to say love, because I want to say acceptance first, because once you accept the fact that your child has autism, then it would help you to love that child the way that child is. And of course, we're not going to forget the fact that your child needs help in certain areas, but it would even help you help them better in those areas that they need help in when you're coming from a place of acceptance. I don't know if I'm making sense, because I didn't jot down anything. I just felt like sharing my thoughts on the subject. But let me say, for example, with my son Williams, if it's scripting or something like that, I know that that's who he is, because I've accepted that Williams is an autistic child and scripting is something that he likes to do. So I'm going to let him script. But of course, if I need him to do something, now I'm trying to think of strategies to help redirect him to get him to do what I need him to do, right? But when I'm trying to redirect him, I'm coming from a place of already accepting him, that he is autistic and he loves to script. So somehow my energy will come off that she accepts me, but she needs me to do this and this right now. Okay. Somehow Williams will feel that energy. As against if I was coming from a place of, oh my goodness, this child is scripting again. I hate this scripting. I can't stand this scripting. Williams, I need you to go brush your teeth right now. Like, like it will be different. The energy will just be different. So I think what I'm trying to say this morning to parents is, let's find ways to begin to accept the autistic child that we have, and then let that be what rules our lives. Like, let that be where we come from, let that be the foundation that we're coming from in everything else, in whether helping them to be better people, or teaching them discipline or whatever. Let it come from the foundation of acceptance first of all. I just believe that that's the best thing, because to be honest, if you put all your energy into the fact that you hate autism, like, what good does that do? I don't see the advantage of putting your energy and your your hatred of autism, like, to be like the main focus of your life. Like, there's no advantage to it. But if you focus more on the acceptance and the good parts, and of course, we're not going to ignore the parts that the fact that they need help. We can't ignore it, because some of these kids really need a lot of help. In fact, most of them, even the ones that people think are high functioning, they need help. They need help. So we can't ignore the fact that they need help. But but when you come from a place of you're autistic, I accept you, then it's so much better. In my opinion, it's so much better. Your mind thinks clearer. Like, for instance, if your child was going through a meltdown, and okay, with Williams, when he's going through a meltdown, I let him do his thing, because I feel like meltdowns maybe does something for him, so I let him do his thing for a minute, and then I step in after a bit. But I'm not going to just I don't know if this angle is good. I'm not going to try to cut his meltdown quickly as soon as it starts. No, because I feel like meltdown does something for him, because I've accepted him. He's an autistic child. So I'm going to let him have his meltdown, and then I'll come in after a bit to redirect him. Right. So why did I start saying that? I was going to make a point. I don't remember. I don't remember the point I was trying to make. But yeah, another thing I was going to talk about is parents need to understand that their kids with autism need a lot of time and patience to learn new skills, or to learn discipline, especially if your child did not get therapy from like an early stage, an early age, and now your child is older, and your child has is now used to having meltdowns and breaking things when they have a meltdown. Now, when you get the help of a therapist and you start to implement different strategies to help your child, to redirect your child, to put their energy into something else, whether it's a punching bag or you put them in activities where they you know get out that energy and all of that, you have to understand that you need patience. Okay, so the way I see it is learning new habits. Everyone needs patience and time to learn a new habit. So if you're beginning to implement a new strategy with your autistic child, you need to give it time. You cannot stop your autistic child from doing a certain thing in a few days or a few weeks or even a few months. Sometimes some of the activities we need years to do. Okay, even like with Williams, even though he started getting therapy at 2.5 or something like that. And let me tell you, he was getting 3 hours every single weekday. So that was 15 hours a week, right? That's a lot of therapy time. But even though he was getting that much therapy time, sometimes depending on the task, it would be like one task for the next 1 month. We're focusing on just this one task, whether it's getting him to eat with a spoon or even getting him to pick his food and eat it or getting him to try a new food. We're focusing on just that one task. The rest of the month, he's allowed to be who he is, right? But the only thing we're working on is just this one task. And sometimes that's what you need with your child, depending on the task and how developed your child is, in that particular task. So sometimes you're doing 2 tasks or 3 tasks, or sometimes it's just one task, and for that 1 month or for 1 year or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Like, don't compare your child with anybody else. It just depends on what your child needs. So I need us to understand that we need patience and, of course, the acceptance in order to help our children to learn new skills and new ways to behave. um but my heart goes to parents. My heart goes out to parents who have kids who are older and didn't get therapy on time. And that's why I started making videos, and that's why I started my channels, because especially parents who live in countries where there's no free therapy or access to therapy, because I would hear horror stories. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, parents would leave their autistic children at home. And I understand why, they'll leave their autistic children at home. Some parents will not even claim their child. They will say, "Oh, I have 3 children." Meanwhile, they have 4 children, and the fourth one is an autistic child. And I'm laughing now, but things like that used to bring tears to my eyes. So that's why I said to do my videos, and I would show therapy tips. It was just my way of saying, okay, if you don't have free therapy or access to therapy, maybe you can learn something from what I'm teaching, because I'm learning them by watching Williams therapists implement them. So I learn from them, and then I try to show it in the videos, and hopefully the parents that are watching are also implementing them, and trying to use the tips that I'm showing. Hopefully it's helping some people. So my heart goes out to people who don't have access to therapy, because it's really, really hard. But try to get as much information as you can. Right now, there's so much information out there on the internet. Oh, okay. I see some comments. Angela says you're making sense. Thank you, Angela. Mary says your videos are very helpful. Aw. Oh, thank you, Mary. Hopefully this helps someone. Hopefully this makes sense to someone. It's okay to I just wish that some people will get off some parents' backs. Like, if a parent is saying that they hate the autism in their child, leave them alone. Only they know what they're going through. But what I would say to every parent is to try to start to think of accepting your child more than you hate the condition, because it would really, really help. It would help that child. It would help them feel loved. And that is a good thing. And another thing that some people do not understand is that these kids need help. Okay. Even if your child is someone who breaks things and all of that, trust and believe that after they've had that meltdown and they've broken stuff and they've hit their siblings, they feel bad and they want to stop doing it. They want to be like everyone else. Okay. They want Williams wants to be able to go to a park and play with other kids. Williams wants to be able to walk into a room and have conversations with other children. Just the way Zita does. And even though Zita is very verbal, um she's not that much extroverted, to be honest with you. She still has a hard time making friends. But it's a lot easier for her than Williams, so but Williams wants to be able to do these things. So when I preach on therapy, I'm not just saying it to make the lives of the parents better. No, I'm saying it because it would actually make the life of your autistic child better. Some people think that when I'm teaching my child to learn new skills, that I'm what's the word now, like I'm bothering him or something. No, I'm not. I know that in the long run it will be better for him. I know that in the long run he will be happier because he has learned these new skills. So if that's something you can do as a parent, but you were holding yourself back because you thought your child wanted to be left alone, it's not true. Your child wants to learn these skills. Yes, autistic children would rather, spend time by themselves, but they also want to know that when they want to conversate, when they want to mingle, they can. And then when they don't, they can be by themselves. That's different from even if I wanted to mingle, I can't do it. So we have to help them any way that we can to learn new skills, to be more disciplined, and all of that. Your child does not want to be a child that everybody is scared of. Your child does not want to be a child that people do not like to be around. So if your child has temper issues, you need to help your child. You need to get the right therapy and the right therapists and the right strategies that would help your child. And like I said, you need patience. So maybe you do it for a year or something and you stick to that thing that you've decided to use to help your child redirect his energy. You have to stick to it and do it over and over and over and over again. But it's something that you have to put in the work for. Well, that's all I have to say for today. I know some people say that they wish they never had the child, but you can have a healthy child and the child goes out tomorrow and is hit by a truck and now they're on feeding tubes for the rest of their lives. So I'm just grateful for whatever I have and I try to make the best of it. That's it. I'm not, because I can't create any cell in anybody. So I cannot create life. So whatever life I have, I'm grateful for. And that's the premise I'm coming from. So I hope I've been able to bless someone today. And I hope I've been able to maybe shed more light on some of these things today. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. And my prayer is that we begin to accept our children, especially people in third world countries. Please, let's accept them. Let's stop trying to pray the autism away. There's nothing wrong with praying with your children, pray for your children, but don't try to pray the autism away like some miracle will happen and now they don't have autism anymore. No, that means you're not accepting them. Accept them. Just accept it and then find ways to help them. Okay, so you guys have a blessed Sunday and talk to you another time. Oh, the kids said they wanted to say hi, so let me just call them. Guys? Yes. All right, come say hi. Come say good morning. You guys, for everyone that watched me live, oh my goodness, I'm seeing like 7 people watching live. Oh my goodness. Look at me. 7 people are watching me live. You guys left whatever you were doing and started watching me live. Oh my goodness. You are so loved. You're so blessed. Say good morning.
Good morning.
And say bye-bye.
Good morning.
Say good morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good morning. Say thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
All right. You guys, bye.
No. Not yet. Not yet.
Be quiet.
If you want to watch my